please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Action in the political arena. He is my boss too, let there be no doubt about that. That's the chairperson of the Congress Parliamentary Party, Sonia Gandhi, today making it clear at a parliamentary party meeting that the buck stopped with Rahul Gandhi when it came to taking calls on crucial issues within the party. And that's not all. Sonia Gandhi, who demitted the office of the Congress president after 10 years at the helm, also asked legislators to brace for the Lok Sabha elections. Pallavi Ghosh joins us with more now. Pallavi, Sonia sounding the poll bugle right there.
That's right. In fact, it was Sonia Gandhi's one of the most aggressive speeches, and in that it's very, very clear that she's asking her party colleagues to gear up for a possible early Lok Sabha elections. But the most interesting part is when she begins by making a statement and a clear message to her own party colleagues. That is when she says that Rahul Gandhi is the new Congress president, he's the new boss, and he's also my boss, and we all have to accept it. The reason why she said so was because many within the party still hope that Sonia will call the shots. All major decisions will be taken by her, especially in the run-up to the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. So that line has been made clear by her, but it's a very politically loaded speech. She spoke about the divisive policies of the government, how questions on key economic issues, unemployment, all of rising prices, all of that has not been addressed, and how the whole discourse is being completely shifted. And how she also warned that ahead of the Karnataka election, like it happened for UP and Gujarat elections, an attempt would be made to polarize the society. So definitely a political speech coming in from Sonia to her party colleagues to ask them to get ready for the big battle ahead.
All right, Pallavi, thank you very much for all of those details. Now moving on, the Supreme Court has said that it will deal with the Ayodhya Temple Babri Mosque title dispute in an unbiased way and would treat it as just as any other land dispute. And that's not all. The Supreme Court bench also adjourned the hearing to the 14th of March since documentations and translations related to the case are yet to be completed. Utkarsh Anand joins us now with more details. Utkarsh, take us through the latest, as far as the Supreme Court is concerned in this case.
The Supreme Court on Thursday made it clear that it is going to decide Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid dispute as a pure question of law and as a title dispute between two warring parties. Court had to, on Thursday, adjourn the case because the documentations in this matter were not complete and that certain exhibits, translations and video cassettes had to be distributed and be allocated between the parties. Court said that from 14th of March, it would want to preferably hear this case on a day-to-day basis and will want to decide it at the earliest. Both the sides, Sunni Waqf Board, private litigants on one side and the state of Uttar Pradesh government on the other side, they seemed agreeable to the idea that they would also want this matter to go on a day-to-day basis from March 14th.
The United States has handed India a slightly better rank when it comes to protecting intellectual property, but India remains in the bottom half of the rankings. The Global Innovation Policy Center of the US Chamber of Commerce released the annual ranking on how countries are faring on protecting trademarks and patents. This year, India has been ranked 44 out of 50 nations, which is just a marginal improvement from last year's rankings when India was ranked 43rd out of 45 nations. India has been given an overall score of 30, which is well below the regional average of 52, but is better than the average of the bottom third of the nations. The top 5 nations average a whopping 93 on that very index. The United States of America has been ranked as the best nation in protecting intellectual property, followed by United Kingdom, Sweden, France and Germany, which complete the top 5 performers. The United States, however, lauded India for taking a few steps to improve intellectual property rights regime, but India is still the worst performing nation among the BRICS and China is the best performer. Now on to a CNBC TV18 special analysis of the mining crisis in Goa. Mining activity across the state is set to come to a standstill from the 16th of March. This after yesterday's Supreme Court order cancelling 88 mining leases that were renewed in 2015. Now today, Nigel D'Souza looks at the genesis of the crisis and how it will impact the mining sector as well as the state government. Nigel, over to you.
Well, let's run you through the timelines first. In 2012, mining in Goa was totally banned. Then in 2015, some of these mining leases were renewed. And in 2016, finally, some of these mines, they got operational. Now, what is the Supreme Court saying? The Supreme Court is saying, come March 15, 2018, all these mines are going to be shut. They're saying that the state government, they have a right in issuing fresh mining leases, but they do not have a right in renewing some of these mining leases. What's the impact to Goa, though? 88 mines, they fall under this purview. And what's going to happen really is that currently only 50% of these 88 mines, that's around 40 to around 45 mines, they were operational. But why is it so important for Goa? It's very, very important because 30% of Goa's GDP comes in from the mining segment. And if you're looking at a number in terms of total quantity that can be produced in Goa, well, it's around 20 million tons approximately. And what are the charges that they pay to the Goa government? Well, they pay royalty, that's around 15%. In addition to that, they pay DMF, that's District Mineral Fund. And thirdly, they pay Goa Iron Ore Fund. You put all these three together, and in fact, they're paying nearly around 29% of the revenue that they're generating from mining in Goa. So if you put a number together, you say 20 million tons they sell at around $25 on a per ton basis. That amounts to around 3,000 crores, and take around 29% of that. It fluctuates between around 600 to around 900 crores depending on the quantity and depending on the pricing as well of the iron ore. Now the Supreme Court is saying the Goa government has to go ahead. They have to give fresh leases as well as take fresh environment clearances before they can give some of these mines the go ahead. Who gets impacted then? Vedanta, they'll get impacted because they had around 5.5 million tons of iron ore that they could mine with them, and they were recently allotted another 3 million tons. So they'll get impacted, though in terms of a price, a share price, well, that's not very, very large impact because iron ore is a very small part of their business. But does it impact the iron ore availability domestically? No, it doesn't, because majority of this iron ore was exported and very minimal was used domestically.
Some updates from the second day of India's biggest auto show, the Auto Expo, is buzzing with several new launches across segments. Today, Maruti unveiled its all-new Swift starting from 4.99 lakh rupees. The Maruti management said that they have already got over 40,000 bookings for the Swift. Have a look.
Quite a few cars have been launched at the 2018 Auto Expo, but the most important one, the Swift. The prices are already out now. It's a little under 5 lakh rupees, the starting price, and a little under 8 lakh rupees for the top end. To rupees 4.99 to rupees 7.96 lakh to be precise. We've already reviewed this car, we've already driven this car. It's available with a 1.2 litre petrol engine or a 1.3 litre diesel, and this time both the engines can be had with an automated manual transmission or AGS in Suzuki speak. Like I said, I think it's a good looking car. It's an evolution of the proven formula of the Swift design. It maintains the silhouette but adds a lot of details that makes it sportier and makes it look all new. Of course, it is all new under the skin as well. It's based on the new hardtech platform, which also makes it lighter, also makes it more exciting to drive than the outgoing car. The Swift has always been an exciting car. In fact, it is one of the best affordable hot hatches out there, and the new one is no different. But speaking of hot hatches, I think there is going to be a bigger engine that will be unveiled with the Swift at a later point. We were expecting it to be shown at least at the Auto Expo. It's not been done, so there's no Swift Sport here either. But if you are at the Auto Expo, I would request you to come to the Maruti Suzuki stall as well, because there are quite a few Swifts out there which have been done up in various colors, which have been kitted out very nicely, and I think they look all good.